Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to the Real Nerdy Review. You already know who it is, back with another video. And your boy finally got a chance to watch Godzilla Minus One on Netflix. And before I get into this video, I need everybody to do me two huge favors. Actually, three. I need you to hit that notification bell so you're notified every time your boy does a video. I need you to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. And I need everybody to hit that like button. Let's help get this video to 10 likes, okay? I'm trying to get all my videos to 10 likes and more. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into this video, okay? Godzilla Minus One was a great movie. First off, I like the look of Godzilla. I thought he looked badass. I like the way he used his dragon breath in certain scenes. I like how they made the scales on the back stand up whenever he got ready to use his dragon breath. I like how the air kind of sucked in around him, and then when he unleashed it, it was just like full force. It looked awesome. The human characters, I can't pronounce their name. I think it's Nakamura and Shimshamaru, something like that. I don't know exactly. I like the human characters in this movie. I thought that they would overshadow Godzilla. Their story would overshadow Godzilla, because that's how usually it is in a lot of these movies. A lot of the humans get the focus and Godzilla is kind of like in the background. But that wasn't the case in the story. I like the human characters and I like the story. So basically what happens is Nakamura, if I pronounce the name right, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Shomaru, whatever the name is, Shomaru, whatever the name is. He's on an island, and he's basically with these soldiers, and I guess they're doing some work, right? And all of a sudden, Godzilla comes through and just completely messes up their plans, completely destroys their camp. So one of the soldiers, while they're hiding, is like, hey, go into the aircraft and shoot the monster. But when he gets in there, he freezes up, and Godzilla is literally like inches away, right in front of his face. So he freezes up and basically gets all the other soldiers killed. And so after that, throughout the movie, he's dealing with basically post-traumatic stress disorder, because all the other soldiers died on the island that he was with, and he lived. And so when he gets home, you know, his home world is destroyed, and there's a young girl with a baby that he ends up befriending and taking in. And because the baby's parents died, and then the woman has nowhere to go. I believe her parents died as well. So they're all living together. And as time goes on, you know, he's dealing with the stress of, you know, still being able to live while the other soldiers died. And so he gets a job working on his boat, snatching up these mines out of the water. Or not snatching up the mines, but detonating the mines, I guess, since nobody can hit them and they don't hurt people. And I will point out, this movie takes place, I believe, I don't know what time period. I believe they said after the World War I or II. I'm not exactly sure. So it takes place real early in that time period. And so Godzilla makes an appearance again. And like I said, I think this wasn't the first time he used his dragon breath, but he ends up taking down some ships. And then some other bigger ships show up, and they end up hitting them with their cannons, whatever they have, and they ship guns and everything, right? And this Godzilla has healing properties. Like, he gets hit in the face, and you see some of his face is burnt and is scarred, and he starts to heal. And so later on in the movie, Shomaru, whatever his name is, he's at his house with his lady, and Godzilla shows up, and he starts tearing up the city like crazy. Basically what you saw in the damn trailer. And I was like, wow, this is really amazing how they pulled this off. He picks up the train, and the girl, his love interest, Nakamura, whatever, I'm sorry, I keep pronouncing the name wrong, she falls out into a bottle of water, and she starts running, and she tries to, you know, I guess go wherever she's trying to get to. And she meets up with Nomaru halfway in the city, right? So while they're running, Godzilla ends up releasing his dragon breath, and like I said, the scales on his back stand up. And with the thing that I like about him using his dragon breath is, like, the air around him kind of gets sucked in, and then he unleashes the dragon breath. So when he unleashes the dragon breath, it's like everything gets pushed back, right? And so she ends up sacrificing herself to save him. She pushes him kind of like in the wedge between these two buildings, and you see all of this debris and force push her back. So he's immediately devastated, and he wants to go after Godzilla. And so the remaining soldiers all get together and devise a plan with, I believe, the help of the scientist that he's been working with to stop Godzilla. And now Nomaru also is trying to devise a plan of his own, where he goes to talk to a scientist who knows, or engineer, an engineer who knows how to fix this war plane, because he's looking at it like, look, if their plan don't work, I got my own plan, which basically sacrificing himself to drive the plane into the Godzilla's mouth and have it detonate to destroy him. And so the soldiers get to where Godzilla is, because he leaves after he destroys almost the whole city and then comes back. And as he's coming back, the soldiers meet up with him. They devise their plan to stop him. Now, this is a great ending. They use two big warships to kind of tie him up, and it looks good, and it's starting to work, right? But then they see Godzilla starting to break free. So then they use it looks like a big-ass floating mattress to bring Godzilla to the surface when they couldn't, hold him under. And so then some of the other soldiers that couldn't help, they using these other boats to come in and pull Godzilla and bring him to the surface. So they do that, and Godzilla's about to release his dragon breath, but something happens. I think they start shooting with everything that they can. I forgot. And so then at one of the last seconds, Nomaru drives the plane into the Godzilla's mouth, and he ejects the seat so he gets out safely. And Godzilla's whole head blows up. So his body slowly crashes underwater. Everybody goes back to the mainlands. The daughter, Akio, that he was staying with a neighbor, she comes up with a note, and the girl starts crying and starts hitting him. So he runs to a nearby hospital, and Nomaru is in bed. Like, she has bandages over her face and over her arm, and she tells him, hey, can this war of yours finally end? And I was shocked to see her alive. I really thought she was dead. I was like, oh my God. And I wanted to see them have a happy ending because I liked their story. I really did. And so the movie ends, and at the end you see underwater Godzilla, pieces of his body kind of start to regenerate. So it's like, oh snap, we could get a sequel. Now, I wouldn't mind if this movie ended right here with just this one. I really enjoyed it. I liked the way they made Godzilla look. I'm going to tell you right now, this movie is definitely a 9.5 out of 10 for me. And I wish this was a movie we got in the States as far as the American Godzilla. This Godzilla wasn't as super big as that one. He definitely looks scary and badass. I know the Godzilla in the American movies was big, and he was looking a little bit more friendlier, probably so that the companies could sell toys. But this Godzilla in this movie was such a badass, and I did like the way everything looked. You could tell the CG in some parts, but it didn't throw me off enough to the point where I didn't want to see the movie. I kept my interest from start to finish, and like I said, I liked the human story. It didn't overshadow Godzilla for me, and I think that's one thing that the American theaters, not the theaters, but the big companies need to really understand and learn. Also, I know the budget for this movie wasn't very high, so I know this movie did great because it made his money back and then some. So that's just my opinion and my thoughts on this movie. That's my review. Like I said, 9.5 out of 10 for Godzilla -1. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Did you like this movie? Did you hate this movie? Post your comments down below, and I'll catch y'all on my next review. Peace. I'm out.